About 3 years ago, God gave us a crazy vision to plant 100 new indigenous churches in 100 unreached villages through our partnership with Petros Network. Now, in my mind, I was thinking, this is crazy talk. But when ordinary people choose to follow Jesus' lead, we can witness God doing extraordinary things. So in March of 2013, we launched our South Sudan initiative by training and sending out 26 indigenous church planters in 26 totally unreached villages. Now, little did we know that 2.5 years later, we would see 111 new churches in 111 unreached villages and well over 94,000 new followers of Jesus Christ in South Sudan. It's like the book of Acts coming alive today in South Sudan. So on October 25th, our team from Canyon View Vineyard, we boarded the plane at DIA and we headed for South Sudan. So after too many long, grueling flights, long layovers, and too many bad movies, we landed in Juba, the capital city of South Sudan. So on the 27th, we met our trusted driver, and his name was Wall. As you can tell, we instantly realized that Wall was my lost child that was separated from us at birth. But Wall took us to the Juba Vineyard Church. This church is on the outskirts of Juba. And that afternoon, we met our church planters. 54 of the church planters were transported there from Torit, about 60 miles away. And we greeted them warmly. We started right away with prayer and worship. They were exhausted for sure, but when the worship started, man, they jumped in. And as you can imagine, there is nothing like worshiping with our African brothers and sisters. Now, during the training, we taught on topics like how to interpret the Bible accurately, how to prepare and deliver sermons, how to disciple people in Christ, issues of systematic theology, and so forth. So our church planters are required to go through 4 trainings in the 1.5 years that they're funded through our partnership with Petros Network. During this training, we had 5 new church planters that we prayed over and released to go into their assigned villages. And when they're finished with their 4 trainings, they're ordained as ministers of the gospel through Petros Network. Now, 12 of these church planters, they completed their training and they were prayed over and they were ordained and they were sent back to their villages where they have amazing churches that are planting other churches. The goal for these graduating pastors is, by this time, they can be self-funded through their own churches or through a micro business that they can start in their villages. Some of these churches are well over 3,000 members now. It's hard to imagine that in just 2.5 years. Now, many of them have also planted multiple churches. One of them that you'll hear from has planted 19. A couple that we met have planted 16. One of them have planted 8. So it's amazing what God is doing, that there is this organic movement of God's Spirit in South Sudan. Now, one of the highlights for us was when our own Pete Hoisington shared his testimony with the church planters. They were so moved by Pete's testimony, they stood up, laid hands on him, and prayed for him. I think that was a life-changing moment for Pete. Now, another critical assignment for our team is we interview the church planters while we're there. This is how we gather information for the reports on our church planters that are sent to people that have helped support these church plants. Now, after the interviews, we had the privilege of praying individually for these church planters. We love to encourage and pray for these courageous men and women. Now, many of these church planters have become dear friends to us over the years. They truly are heroes of the faith. Is it possible that God may be calling you to go to South Sudan in the near future? I want to thank you, Canyon View Vineyard, for your investment in the lives of our brothers and sisters in South Sudan. And through your contributions, we have over 94,000 new believers in over 100 villages that before 2.5 years ago, there was absolutely no presence of the gospel of Jesus Christ in these villages. Thank you for your partnership with us and with Petros Network to reach South Sudan with the good news of Jesus Christ. And for that, we give God all the glory. Now consider this. What could happen in the next 2.5 years in South Sudan through all of us together? Let's go plant 100 more churches together. God bless you for your heart for the people in South Sudan.